I have a peach tree. It's a dwarf. I'm going to show you how to prune, very much similar to nectarines. These are the two types of stone fruit that you prune in this specific way. Pruning cherries and other stone fruit like plums, slightly different.
To avoid damage and pests, the best time to prune is early spring after the frost and before the flower bud break.
The basic shape that we want to prune a peach tree is an open vase rather than a single stem coming up and with laterals coming out. With an idea of an open vase shape, you want the center to be open where the sun can penetrate.
For an open center or vase structure, we want about 3 or 4 main scaffold branches.
So we got one here, another here. I don't think this is going to be a good one to use as a scaffolding main branch. And the third main branch possibly will be this one because it's pointing in that direction. And I think I'll tie a string to pull it that way a little bit more.
I want this to be the main structural branch. You want the structural branch to be at a 45 to 60 degree angle. To make that angle, I tied the branch to the fence. Smaller lateral branches extend from the main scaffold branches.
Here's a main structural branch. See lateral branches going that way, this way, and that way. The first thing you want to do in pruning is to remove any dead or broken, damaged branches. This one is clearly dead, so we're gonna just get rid of that. Here's that one where that was broken earlier in the season. The next pruning cuts that we want to make is to open up the open vase interior.
Anything that goes towards the middle, I want to cut out.
This one back here is going straight up, so we'll get rid of that, and it's also pointing towards the middle. This one right here is pointing this way towards the middle, but we have some nice looking fruit buds coming out this way. I will cut this to encourage this fruit bud to develop outward. You want to make the cuts about half inch above the fruit buds. This one right here is leaning into the middle, so I'm going to cut this right about here. This is a good time to use my loppers because this is a bigger branch.
The next set of cuts will be on the
laterals coming out from the structural branch. What's important to know about peach trees and nectarines is that fruit grows on 1-year-old wood. So you could see the red color here. It stops right here. So this is the 1-year-old growth. This is 2-year-old growth. Here's another example. Here's the 1-year-old growth, and you could see the fruit buds or the flower buds. Not all of them are going to be fruit, but then it stops right here. The next cuts would be to cut the 2-year-old wood to stubs. What we want to do is encourage growth for the next year, because that will encourage branching out from here on these remaining buds. This is a 2-year-old wood, and this is 1-year-old wood. So as I mentioned about 2-year-old, you want to stub this one back to encourage growth from the 2-year-old wood for the next year. We got a bud coming out this way, so we want to encourage that bud to form and give some energy to that. So we'll cut the 2-year-old wood right here. We'll stub it. Here's another one that's 2 years old or more. We want to encourage growth again, so we're going to stub this one. And here's a bud coming out in this direction, so we'll cut it right there. On 1-year-old wood, the maximum length it should be is about 2 feet. So you want to head it off after about 2 feet to encourage growth from these buds. These are either fruiting buds or vegetative buds that will grow out this way. Here's an outward facing bud, so I'll cut it right there. This one is competing with the main one, so I will head this back, and also I'll cut it right around here because there's some buds right here, and encourage the buds to grow this way. Head this 1-year-old branch at about 2 feet. The next set of cuts is going to be to remove these crossing branches. These two are crossing, so I've got to decide which one to cut. I want this to encourage this part right here to continue growing out this way, and I want to encourage either this one or this one to continue growing in this direction. We'll make this cut right here. Here we got, from a structural branch, we've got a lateral branch coming out this way, but you notice there's one right here and there's one right here, but this one's crossing over to some of these branches. So I want to get rid of this one. I want to put the energy into this one. Cut this one right here. That's also a 2-year-old wood, so I leave it as a stub. It might encourage it to grow this way also.